on second down. Herbert, he gets this out to Spiller. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up 3rd and 1. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Herbert back to the air. And that will be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him, and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Here's Herbert. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 32-yard line. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. And the Texans are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for them. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances...
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Houston, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
game, don't play with my name. You come with your goons, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game. Yeah, put me in the game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey, coach. Put me in the game. They put me in, so I'm going in. You play for fun, I'm playing to win. Back on the wall, I'm ready for war. If I beat them before, I could beat them again. They thought I was done, I went on a run and beat all the odds and got even again. Watch what you say, I'm not one of them. When I jump in my bag, I can jump out the gym. Take a look at my legacy, I gotta let them see I'm out here winning, cause I'm on a mission. Put me in the game, cause the way I'm feeling, I honestly do not see no competition. I gotta get it, so it ain't no quitting. We jumped off the benches and jumped in the trenches. No one is better than all of us, and that's why all of us been winning from the beginning. It's more than a game, don't play with my name. You come with your goons, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game. Yeah, put me in the game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey, coach. Put me in the game.
Today, from TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida, it's Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports. Jacksonville Jaguars taking on Davis Mills and the Houston Texans.
The calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key today at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Texans defense ready to get back in gear, 4-0 through the first month of the season. And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was popped free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
It's a loss of 2, now third down. And a nice play there defensively. And this is a new acquisition, Charles. You and I were talking about it pregame. Just signed as a free agent earlier this week.
Love when they pick up those guys with something to prove, because any guy who's a free agent off the street, no one else wanted him. So he wants to prove to the rest of the league, you should have signed me first. How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The Houston defense back onto the field. They'll have to defend the short field here as this drive begins with the following the fumble recovery. Lawrence completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it second down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into an either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Throwing again on second down. Lawrence, and looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted. Picked off by Jack Rabbit Jenkins. And the Texans are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic.
The Texans about ready to go now on defense. And they're playing with a lead here in this first quarter as this drive gets underway. They start on the ground with Robinson here. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. Well, when you time those screen passes perfectly, they can work perfectly, but that time it took a little too long to develop.
And you zeroed in on exactly what makes that play go, timing. Because if the timing's off at all, those unblocked defenders coming at the quarterback, they'll put him on the deck.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The Houston defense back onto the field. They'll be looking to be the aggressors here as this drive begins with a 1st and 10. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expecting to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
On 2nd and 9, Lawrence, and the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. Picked off by Duron Harmon.